Look at a map of Canada's Yukon Territory and you will find an interesting name of a community, Old Crow. It is located on the banks of the Porcupine River, approximately 800 kilometers north of Whitehorse, which is Yukon's capital city. Old Crow is one of the oldest First Nation communities in Yukon. According to archaeological evidence, the Old Crow area might be the site of the earliest human occupation in North America. With a population of close to 300 people, Old Crow is the home community of the Vantood Gwich'in First Nation, namely people of the lakes, who have inhabited the area for thousands of years. The Vantood Gwich'in First Nation is part of the Gwich'in people whose traditional territory extends across parts of Alaska, Yukon, and Northwest Territories. An indigenous chief named Dichu Kavidik, which means Crow May I Walk, helped settle a community here around the 1870s, and the village of Old Crow was named after him. Located in a periglacial environment, Old Crow has mild summers and severely cold winters. The average annual temperature is minus 8.3 degrees Celsius. As Old Crow is located north of the Arctic Circle, it experiences midnight sun in summer and polar night in winter. Lying north of the Arctic Circle, Old Crow is the only Yukon community that cannot be reached by motor vehicle. Located about 100 kilometers from the nearest highway, Old Crow is only accessible by flying Air North, Yukon's airline that provides a vital link to Whitehorse, Dawson City, and Inuvik. Air service is a lifeline to the community, and there is one flight in and out of Old Crow almost every day. The main modes of transportation in this community are snowmobile, ATV, boat, and dog sled. During winter, a temporary ice road is sometimes built to transport freight into Old Crow. The airport in Old Crow recognizes the contribution and leadership of Vantood Gwich'in elder and former chief Alfred Charlie for his important work in the 1970s to inspire and support the development and construction of the Old Crow Airport. It was Mr. Charlie's vision and perseverance that enabled the modernization of air travel in Old Crow. Today, this airport continues to serve as an essential gateway for Old Crow and northern Yukon. Old Crow is literally next door to Vantood National Park, which was created in 1995 as a result of the Vantood Gwich'in land claims settlement. The park and an adjacent special management area encompass much of the Old Crow Flats, a world-renowned wetland complex of shallow lakes and small streams, important to the Vantood Gwich'in for subsistence hunting and other traditional practices. Each year, a huge herd of as many as 200,000 caribou cross the Porcupine River during their fall and spring migrations. The range of the porcupine caribou herd spans across the northern Yukon, northeastern Alaska, and the northwestern fringe of the Northwest Territories. The herd migrates over 1,000 kilometers from their winter range in the northern boreal forest over the mountains to their calving grounds on the coastal plains near the Beaufort Sea, the longest land migration route of any land mammal on Earth. This migration starts in the spring as the caribou leave their wintering grounds and head up through Vantood National Park and into Ivavik National Park on the Yukon North Slope. Many pregnant cows make it all the way over into the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge in Alaska before they give birth to their young, usually in June. In the case of a late spring, some will calve on the Yukon portion of the calving ground within Ivavik National Park. When the weather turns cold, the herd leave the coastal plains, turning south and heading down across Old Crow Flats towards their winter range, south of the Porcupine River. As one of the largest caribou herds in North America, the Porcupine caribou herd is a valued resource cooperatively managed by the Alaska Department of Fish and Game, Canadian wildlife agencies, and local Aboriginal peoples. For thousands of years, the Porcupine caribou herd has been a source of food, clothing, tools, and various crafts for the Gwich'in, who traditionally built their communities to align with the caribou's migration patterns. The caribou are a subsistence resource of the Gwich'in and central to their cultural identity and way of life. Thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe to this channel, Words of Woods.